Okay, welcome to our next lesson. Unfamiliar words. So, you should be on this page. It says lesson 13, unfamiliar words. Get to that so that you can follow along. It's page 13. Can you see that good? All right. Using context clues to figure out what the meaning of unfamiliar words and phrases will deepen your understanding of text you read. So it's important to understand the words in the texts, at least mostly what you think they mean or could mean, because then you'll be able to understand what you're reading better. So if there's a bunch of words in a text that you don't know, you're going to miss out on a lot of information and not understand as much of what you're reading. Cool. And informational texts often have words people don't use in everyday life. So in school, you'll hear words that you wouldn't usually hear outside of school. Okay. Some words usually appear only in texts in one subject area. For example, you see the word fossil in science texts. Who knows what that might be about? Maybe prehistoric fish. Usually people think dinosaurs. In science texts, and other word geography and social studies texts. Other words called academic words are useful in many subject areas. For example, the academic word process often appears in both science and social studies. So some words are going to be in more than one subject, but they might not mean the same thing. So, for example, if you're in science class and you're talking about boiling point, then you might say a hard-boiled egg. What does hard mean in that sentence? Hard, like solid. But if you're in literature class with Miss Lear and the book says, he gave me a hard look, does that mean he gave me a solid look? No, it means he gave me a serious look. He gave me a hard look. So hard means two different things. Let's keep going. As you read, you can use context clues to figure out meanings of unfamiliar words and phrases. Clues might be synonyms, antonyms, examples, or definitions. Our last lesson, we talked about examples and definitions. So synonyms and antonyms. What's a synonym? I remember because synonym starts with an S, just like same. Synonym, same. Words that mean the same thing. Antonym means words that mean opposite. Cool. So, that can help you, that can be a clue. So say you're reading, she wasn't warm at all. In fact, she was freezing. So say you don't know what freezing means. You do, but say you don't. Warm would be a clue because she wasn't warm, she was freezing. So they must be opposites. So what's the opposite of warm? Cold. So freezing must mean really cold. So that's how you can use an antonym for a context clue. Words that mean the opposite in the same sentence or next sentence help you figure out what unknown words mean. Let's keep going. Read the passage below. Circle the phrase conceived of. And underline context clues to help you learn its meaning. Inventing the crane. That's a crane? Somebody had to invent it, right? Let's learn about it. Ancient Greek engineers thought of ways to make new machines from older ones. Ancient Greek. That was a while ago. For example, they conceived of and built a compound machine called the crane. So what are we supposed to do with the word conceived of? Circle the phrase conceived of. All right, so circle conceived of. If I'm going too fast, just pause this, circle it, and let's keep going. All right, circle that. And underline context clues. Okay, so we have to underline clues. Conceived of and built compound machine called the crane. Their idea combined the lever, pulley, and wheel and axle into one machine. So what does conceived of? A modern crane is a compound machine too. Okay, whatever. So let's try to replace conceived of with another word that's in this passage. Okay? So what word is in the sentence before it? So here's conceived of, the sentence before it. Ancient Greek engineers thought of ways to make new machines from older ones. What word in there could we take out and put in place of conceived? For example, they blank of and built a compound machine. They blank of. I'm not sure. All right. So let's go on to the chart and see if we can figure this out. Page 14. What have you learned about... Can you guys see the screen? Am I holding this right? I don't know. All right. What have you learned about figuring out the meaning of unfamiliar words? Complete the chart below to figure out the meaning of the phrase conceived of as it is used in the passage. Remember, it might mean something different in another sentence. Then explain what the phrase most likely means. All right, so helpful context. What should we put there? What word do you see in context? Text. So we need to figure out what the text is talking about. So let's go back, right? That's how we figure things out. It's about inventing the crane. In order to invent something, what do you first need to do? You need to think of the idea. Very good. What in here says something like that? Actually, wait. So for helpful context, we'll put what it's about. So we'll put inventing the crane. Inventing the crane. So write that down. Just pause it, write it down, and then start it up again. All right, so inventing the crane. Now we know what it's about. That's important to understanding. What word in here is a clue? Yes, we're on clues. What word is important? For example, they conceived of. Engineers thought of. Interesting. Let's see if this fits here. For example, they thought of and built a compound machine. They conceived of and built a compound machine. They thought of and built a compound machine. Does that work? Yes, it does. All right, so that is a clue. So engineers thought of ways to make new machines. That's our clue. Engineers thought of and, what does it say? Engineers thought of ways to make new machines. Engineers thought of ways to make new machines. Put that here. Pause it and put that there. Rewind it and listen to it again if you don't know. And if you don't know how to spell it, where do we find how to spell it? In the text. All right, possible meaning. What's the meaning? What word can go in there? Thought of, very good. Yes, put thought of, possible meaning. They thought of, and I want to add something else from the last sentence. They conceived of or thought of and built a compound machine called the crane. Their idea combined the lever, pulley, wheel idea. Okay, so they thought of. What word in here gives us another clue that we can add to our definition? Idea. So they thought of an idea. A new idea, right? So a good definition would be conceived of, thought of a new idea. Okay? Put that there. Thought of a new idea. Pause it and put it. Pause and put. Why is it so dark in here? What's that? I don't think that helped at all. Whatever. Okay. It's fine. You know what I look like. Oh, do you like my braids? Took 4 hours. All right. Now, under the chart, it says the meaning of the phrase. So we need to put what? The meaning of the phrase. What phrase? Oh yeah, conceived of. So what does conceived of mean? We need to put a sentence. How do we, now it's too bright. I don't know what to do. What do we put? How do we rephrase our sentence? The meaning of the phrase conceived of. Conceived of means, that'd be the easiest way. Conceived of means, so put that. Conceived of means, how do you spell conceived of? Oh yeah, it's right there. Okay, so put that, pause it and put that. The conceived of means, and what did we decide it means? Oh, if you forgot, that's okay. Look back in your chart under possible meanings. It means thought of a new idea. So you'll put conceived of means to think of a new idea. Let me say that again. Conceived of means to think of a new idea. Period. And I better see a capital at the beginning of that sentence. Okay, pause that, put that down, and then come back. Welcome back. All right, so we're done with that. I'm trying to keep this short today because the last one was really long. Make those corrections. Send me pictures of your corrections so that I can mark you. This is how I'm going to do attendance if I see that you're doing the work. And I'll see you tomorrow.